Alrighty guys, this is going to be a quick video on the best start in Mount & Blade Bannerlord 2. A lot of people probably have their own definition about what a best start is, but for me that's the easiest start. For me, right now, the easiest way to play the game is to rush smithing, and the best place to do that is in Botania. Unfortunately, the 30% less speed penalty in forests, while good, isn't excellent. It's better than Sturgeon with snow because there's way more forests on the map, but I prefer Vlandia for the 20% more XP because the second half of the game is basically all sieges and there's no way for you to really protect your troops during a siege. So this way you'll be able to replace them faster as they die. Empire with the 20% construction speed isn't bad, but I don't like playing as Empire. I prefer doing Vlandia. Azurai with caravans are useless in a smithing build. Kuzite's fun, but horse archers, I played horse archers for like my first 100 hours of the game, and I just can't really deal with horse archers anymore. The other thing is, when you do horse archers, you basically have to F1, F6 because they're really hard to control yourself. They take a lot of micromanagement, so you basically have to have the sergeants take over. So we're going to go Vlandia. We make our guys tall. The reason I make my guys really tall is because it makes it a lot easier to kill enemies in the arena. I've played with small guys before going for the don't get hit by arrows build, but it doesn't actually work. So going tall, taking the high ground in the arena, parting the first strike from the enemy, and then backhand, 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 this is the way to go. When you backhand as a tall person, you're going to hit them in the head, and 2 or 3 shots from that is going to kill them. The only other thing I'd recommend is I actually like to put some markings on my guy's face because I feel like it makes him a little bit easier for me to recognize. So because we're doing a smithing build, we want to rush smithing as much as possible. The only other thing we need to focus on is riding and bow and arrow. The reason we want riding and bow and arrow is you want to start on a horse with a bow. So here, we're going to go with this because it gives you horsey skill. Okay, we're actually going to take this one because it also gives you endurance. So skill with horses gives you horse and an endurance point, which we need for the smithing. I'm going to take hunted small game here because it gives me the control point, which is a bow. Here is rode with the scouts. Not only does it give you horse and bow, it also gives you an endurance point. So this is just by far the best one. Treat people well. We don't care about that. Let's see. I might do hunt the dangerous animal because I think that'll give me a pole arm as well. Let's see. I start my guy at 20. Character name. I'm going to go with Chip. And we play our games on hard, because that's the best way to do it. I don't disable birth and death. I want to have kids. It's annoying when people die, but everybody's replaceable. Auto allocate clan member perks. I don't do that because I like to micro. So as we come in, Chon. We have started, personally, I go green with the snake. Okay, so we start in Sargo. The first place we're going to do is we are going to rush in Seanin. And the reason we pick Seanin is because right here, Bryn Glass sells iron ore, and Andern and Flinthog sell hardwood, as well as over here, Ulthilam, whatever. This place also sells hardwood, and obviously Seanin is going to be a smith. So we are going to rush Seanin. As we come up here, I'll show you real quick. The only people you must avoid in this build are forest bandits. Forest bandits are incredibly annoying to kill. You have to use terrain to get around them. So if at all possible, avoid forest bandits. Now, the other thing I'll show you real quick is on my way to Seanin, I will stop at every single Botanian settlement just to check their nobles because I'm looking for powerful people. See this guy? He's powerful 204. Powerful 204 is a little low for me. I prefer my guys to be powerful and 250 plus, really over 300. If there's one of them, if there's 2 people who are powerful and they're over 200, then I'll mark it. But this doesn't count, so Inverness isn't good enough. Let's see if I can find one here real quick. Okay. 249. 249, and this guy's 197, so at 200 he's going to become powerful. So for me, that's good enough. I'm going to mark that, and that way the benefit of marking them is I will know where the noble units spawn. And the reason that's important is, ooh, this one's good, 359. Definitely mark that. The reason you want to mark where the noble units spawn is the Battanian Fion champions are insanely powerful. Let's see, 227, nope. Let's go here. Probably should have checked there first. No. No, oh, this guy's really close. I'm tempted to put a mark on him, but I'm not going to. Okay. Right now, we're not even going to see. This one's an amazing one. 385 and 348. These guys are going to be pumping out the Battanian noble units. So that's definitely a mark. The important thing is right now we're just going around and marking. We're not actually going to recruit them, because if we do that, we're going to be slowed down and we won't be able to solo the anybody who ambushes us on our way to buy hardwood. Let's see, recruit troops. No. Okay. I'm assuming somebody is going to ambush me at some point. I will mark this one. Okay, so first thing first. Buy products. We want the iron. Let's check the troops. Oh, wow, that place is terrible. The ideal is to have a place that's selling hardwood and has the super powerful units, because you're going to be buying a lot of hardwood. So you can see here, because of all that iron ore, I am super weighed down, and I'm going to be moving very, very slowly. And that's why it's so important to start with a horse and a bow and not recruit anybody into your army at the start. If you really must recruit somebody, some people recommend taking the smith, because you can use him to power level your smithing. Personally, I don't think that's worth it. I would prefer going with a spice vendor, because they have the highest stewardship ability. And stewards are really the only people that can survive if you set them to be their own party leaders. Anybody else is really not that good. The other option is the swift. So you can see here she has 80 steward ability. And basically you need high stewardship, because steward lets you recruit more units into your party. Let's see if I can find the thing that says that. Maybe here. Yeah. The AI for your companions is terrible at leading parties, and your best bet at keeping them from being captured is to give them the largest possible party. So yeah, go for Spice Bender. Number 1 is your Prio, and then number 2 is going to be the Swift. Let's see, where is the Spice Vendor? She's going to be somewhere in Kuzite, so this Swift person is very far. This person, Azurite, wow, they're both going to be really far. So I'm not going to pick up either of these until I finish my smithing power level. Let's come in here real quick. Nope. It's garbage. The location of where the elite units spawn will change. Wow, I need to buy food. The location of where the elite units spawn will change, but what the different towns sell doesn't change. So Flinthog and Andern will always sell hardwood. I'm going to be moving really slowly right now, but like I said, that's fine. I'm actually kind of hoping somebody will ambush me just so I could show you guys the tactic to 1v6, 1v13. Let's see here, 206. Not good enough. All right, that should be enough. Oh, well, we don't have enough money. It's a bit of a bum. Doesn't really matter, though, because right now all we really need is enough money to build a two-handed sword, and I will show you why in a minute. Yeah, the other thing that's nice when you get ambushed is you'll actually be able to pick up items for smelting. Smelting unlocks a lot of recipes, but obviously nobody ambushed me, so at some point I'm going to have to go out and show you guys how to solo. I'll probably do that later on in the video if you're interested. So we have now made it to the city. We are going to enter the smithy. We're gonna need a bunch of hardwood. My smithing skill is going up like crazy. So right now, we're not sure if it's a bug or not, but the only way to generate your smithing stamina, here, I'll show you again real quick. My smithing stamina is only 9% right now. I can't do anything else. The only way we know of to generate it is to wait in a town and click wait sometime. I usually count 10 Mississippi, so 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi. The smithing. Okay, now I'm back at like whatever that is, 88%. So The only way to do it without an add-on is to do what I just did, wait in the town. Obviously, that's really annoying. Some people prefer to do it with an add-on. Personally, I don't do enough smithing to really make that worthwhile, but if that's what you want to do, go download that add-on. So, to start, you actually won't be able to make the javelin because you won't have the shaft unlocked. But you can make a two-handed sword right from the beginning, and so that is what we're going to do. Come through here, make the size as big as possible. You can see on the left side of my screen the difficulty is going from 50 to 60. You'll get a little bit more XP with higher difficulty, so do that. And you can see here the ingredients are 1 charcoal, 4 wrought iron, and 2 crude iron. So we're going to forge that. It's going to unlock a bunch of stuff. And then you can come here and you can see I could sell this two-handed sword for 700 gold. Now that's not great, but the problem is my smithing skill is incredibly low. As your smithing skill gets higher and higher, you'll be able to sell these two-handed swords for 30k. And you'll be able to do that in about 20 minutes of real time. It's going to be pure RNG on when you'll be able to unlock the javelin. All you need is the javelin handle. But once you get that, even the tree branch javelin handle, if your smithing skill is high enough, you should be able to sell that for 80k. I believe 122k is the max. It is what it is, you know. Some people recommend smelting down your swords after you build them. At some point, you want to do that once you have enough gold, but for now, I'm just going to sell because I need gold. And you can see here, the reason we need gold is because the best gear in the game costs a lot of gold, and it takes a lot of time to get there. Your Fions are going to be expensive. Okay. These are the units we want. You're probably going to only be able to get the Highborn Youth and the Highborn Warriors from the towns, but basically you want to buy these and upgrade them to Fion Champions. Don't do that until you're done soloing, because running around with these guys, kiting looters with these guys standing still and turreting isn't a good idea. So yeah, maybe after you finish your smithing, start buying your Fions. In terms of your mounted cavalry, I don't even buy horse archers. I just use my Fions. For my cavalry units, I'll show you. I go with the Vlandian nobles because the Vlandian Banner Knight, oh nice, artifacting. The Vlandian Banner Knight is really good. The reason I pick them is in sieges, they perform just a little bit better than the Empire noble unit, in my opinion. And then, let's see, Vlandian Sar. Where is he? Vlandian Sergeant. And then these are what I use as my frontline troops. And so basically what I do is I'll do a mix of Vlandian sharpshooters and Battanian Fiends as my back row archers. And then in front of them, I will place a wall of Vlandian sergeants. So the Vlandian sergeants protect the archers with their shields. I'll go in and I'll tell the Vlandian sergeants and, you know, the lower level units to build a shield wall. That way they have their shields up to protect themselves and the Fions behind them from arrows. And then I will tell my Vlandian sharpshooters will be mixed in with the Fions behind me. And then I'll tell my Vlandian Banner Knights and lower units to follow me. And then I'll go around and flank, hit them on the flank while mounted to really just sweep the board. And that is an extremely, extremely primitive and simple way to defeat your enemies once you get involved in actual field battles. In sieges, it's just every man for himself. It's almost impossible. It's going to be basically impossible for you to protect your troops during sieges. The only thing I'd recommend in a siege is keep your troops away from the siege equipment, because that's a really easy way for like a Fion to die. For some reason, you'll have a Fion working a catapult and then he'll die doing that, and it's just a total waste of a Fion. So try to keep them away from the siege equipment if possible. Okay, so real quick, I'm just going to show you guys the skills that I take for smithing. In the beginning, I'll dump all my focus points in. I'll level them up to 175. That's about where I need my smith to be. After that, you really don't need them anymore, and it's time to go play the game. As I mentioned before, some people will recruit a smith to travel with them. I don't even bother doing that. The first time you play, you might enjoy that because you can go really hard on smithing and make tons and tons and tons of gold. But for me, I just want to spend like the first 20 minutes of the game getting my gold situation worked out, getting my armor upgraded, and then I want to go have fun playing in the sandbox, you know? So coming in here, the first thing you're going to take is efficient charcoal maker. The reason for that is you get more charcoal per hardwood. And then you got to go steel maker 2, steel maker 3, and then you're going to want practical refiner. I prefer that over practical smelter personally. I'd probably take the control just because I prefer the bow over actual fighting. So I would take controlled smith, and then right here practical smith is going to be the last thing I take. Having the stamina for smithing and then refining is huge. It's really huge. The other thing that's fun is as you wait in the city, tournaments will come rolling through. And as tournaments roll through, you will be able to go in and win items, which you can also sell for gold or equip for yourself. So let's see here. Oh, I got a mace instead of a polearm. That's too bad. So one of the first items I'm going to buy with my gold is going to be a polearm. Let's see here. So the first thing you want to do is high ground. You want to get high ground, and you want to, like I just did, get them lined up in a row like this. The reason you want them lined up in a row is because it makes it almost impossible to miss. If you have high ground, you'll get lots of headshots with them in a row, but as I said, this is just not a bad way to do it. Eee! Oh! The rock throwers. So we got a little bit of high ground here. Looking over my shoulder, I can see them in the line. That's going to take a little bit of practice, but once you get used to it, it'll become second nature. And then with them lined up like this, like I said, it's just going to be impossible for you to miss. And as you kill enough, they run, and just like that, we've won the battle. The important thing to note here is I was attacked by 8 and I killed 3 of them and they ran away. So you're only going to start with 27 arrows. Even if you're ambushed by like 13 looters, you shouldn't panic. It'll take about 3 arrows to kill 1 looter, but you shouldn't panic. Just be careful with your shots and don't miss. If you kill close to half of them, they'll break rank and run. And once that happens, it'll end. And after you leave the battle, even if they come and attack you again, your quiver will be refilled. With 27 arrows, 16 is probably the best you can do. You'll have to probably, anything higher than that, you'd really have to cheese using the terrain. I guess the only other thing, now that we're back in the town, is when you go to sell your loot, keep the items that you loot from the enemies that you kill, because you can smelt those down and get pretty good smithing XP from it. The armor you can just sell, but keep the items, because you can use the mats and the XP from smelting them down. The only other thing I can think to mention, I guess, is when you go into an arena, go immediately to the high ground. Just look around your little start area. You're going to be really slow, especially at the beginning, because your athletic skill is going to be so low. But just get to the high ground and wait for the enemy to run to you. And as they come in, they're going to telegraph what attack they're doing and just be ready to block it. So you're going to parry their first attack, and then you want to backhand. You want to do a backhanded slash 3 times in a row after that. And because you're on the high ground and because we made our guy really tall, you're probably going to hit them in the head or neck, and 2 or 3 blows from that is going to kill them. If you have any other recommendations for a better start, leave it down below in the comments. I'd be really interested to hear what other people are doing, but I think I've got this pretty well tuned in. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later. Peace.